Alright, guys. 60 miles per hour behind the leader. Single file. Single file. We just lost somebody. We just lost Anchor. We just lost Anchor. I'm sorry, Anchor. Watch the live stream. Look up Ryan Dyer on YouTube. Let's go with... TK's gonna be Grand Marshal. Yep. Single file, guys. Single file. TK, you're doing it. Drivers! Start your engines. Yeah. I'm sorry, Anchor. You're still getting starting points, Anchor. Yeah, Ocean used the Grand Marshal. Ocean, you're Grand Marshal.
Yeah, I'm P3.
Yep.
I'm not P2.
Too bad. Holsitter decided
Yeah,
Ocean.
Katsu, you're gonna do it. I played tag. If I tag Katsu in the door, it counts as a tag, as if we're playing tag. Oh, you're it.
Soon as we get off the, ow. Yeah, I got damage.
Oh wait, Katsu, no one loves you.
After we get past the start finish line, we're all gonna single file. I guess I'll do prayer. After the start finish. Entrance of 1. Alright guys, that's good. Everybody stop?
Alright, don't break, I guess. See people checking up and it's like, ooh. No. Never said.
Okay. Everybody, please mute yourselves. I guess I'm gonna be doing the prayer again. But tonight's race, and for the rest of the week, may our drivers have great luck and great prosperity. Thank you, dear Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, we will be doing National Anthem. Tonight's National Anthem will be from Stephen Dyer. This was the National Anthem at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 2001. What the? Hold on.
Last evening, whose broad stripes and bright stars to a perilous fight. All the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets ran crash, who bound bursting in On the free Indianapolis 500.
Okay, and now it's Steven Tyler singing our national anthem. Now, I'd like to introduce our Grand Marshal, Katsu, tonight. Katsu, go ahead, state most famous sports and motorsports.
No. No.
Yep, come on.
What?
Alright, I'll do it. Katsu's a wimp. Hold on. Let me include my audio. Drivers, start your engines. Alright, it's good enough.
Our
I know it's weak.
I'm gonna need a
Everybody
re-invite in just a
double
sec, because for
file.
some reason I need to reset my Xbox again before the before it'll actually let me into the race to watch it.
okay.
My cat's freaking out. Stop it. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Guys,
so
I'm starting last. Go ahead.
another bit of technical issue. There we go. Should be in my headset now. Hopefully, we don't have any more issues like that throughout the race. Come on. Yeah, there's that music that I knew I couldn't prevent, but glad I thought ahead. But yeah, thank you guys though for tuning in. We should be getting an invite back to the party as soon as we log in, of course. But yeah, come on, get in. Come on, let's get this thing in. Thank you guys for sticking with us, by the way. I know technical difficulties, never fun. Just trying to avoid having any issues. Okay, so there we go. We should be. Yeah, just let them know I'm back online. There we go. Yeah, we should be getting ready. This is gonna be a fun race at the Glen. Last night's was actually a lot better than I was thinking it was gonna be. So we should be getting ready to go here. I'm just gonna make sure I've got everything set up just in case the race runs long to go for a long stream. Got it plugged in. Got my computer plugged in just in case. Copy or what? No. Okay, sounds pretty good. So we should be ready to go here pretty soon. We're just kind of waiting on an invite because they made the party invite only, and the race is, of course, private lobby. So don't know how many, like, how they anticipate me to be able to get in there without an invite, or if they just didn't think to send me an invite. So yeah, just trying to make sure I get in there so we can actually get to see this race. I know we're already dropping viewers, and basically bit of time that we spend not every single bit of time that we spend not watching racing, we're not gonna be every basically every second it increases the chance of people not sticking around for the stream. So trying to avoid having too much dead air and not enough on track content as well. So I'm gonna go in and just kind of mess with my custom driver paints or my custom driver fire suit. Fire suit is what we want to mainly work with. Let's go for green. I think a dark green works. And what do we want for an accent color with the dark green? Just kind of messing around with the driver suit while I wait for the invite. Hopefully we get an invite relatively soon. There we go. Oh, looks pretty good. There we go. Those are kind of campgroundy colors. But yeah, so we should be. I'm just kind of messing around with this right now while we get loaded in here, or while we wait for the invite. Which I'm assuming at this point we're gonna end up having to wait till a caution to get in there, which isn't necessarily the best, but we can make do with it. Yesterday's winner was Casey. He was the first ever two-time winner in the truck series, and he actually won his races back to back. So I don't believe he is in the field though tonight, if I do remember correctly. Which, of course, remembering correctly, kind of the name of the game. So here we go. Hopefully we can get an invite relatively quick, because I'm not particularly interested in just kind of having you guys sit around and watch a blank screen for half an hour, however long the race takes. So, yeah, hard to say, like, okay, if we're gonna have, like, hard to say when I'm gonna get the invite, because I don't even think any of them have any of them seen my comment on Facebook about needing an invite? Nope, no one that's in the race has, at least. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Just what I needed. Yeah, so that's good. I'm gonna go turn some laps in an Xfinity car at Watkins Glen. Yeah, I know you're gonna stick around. You surprise me with the amount that you stick around for how low the quality content I produce is. I mean, I don't know how you stick around with all this. But yeah, so I'm gonna just load in Zippo 200 as the Glen. But yeah, so we're gonna be hopefully getting an invite at the first caution flag, which we know there's gonna be at least one of them for the stage break. And actually, if I load in here, if I load in here, I can actually see how long the stage racing is. Yeah. Yeah, problem is that the stream doesn't actually currently have on-track racing. I mean, I'm going to do some practice laps here at Watkins Glen, and you guys can see how bad of a road racer I am. So, yeah, I've never found the road races to be my best form of it. At least not on here. On Project Cars 2, I'm not too terrible at the road courses. I'm not fast by any stretch, but but hopefully we should be getting an invite to the party or to at least the race pretty soon. So just kind of, oh, come on, really? Okay, why is my oh, why am I on? Oh, I'm on paddle shifting. That's why. Okay. Oh, oh. Okay. So weird being on pedals, but no but paddle shifting, like the shifting being on my wheel. Something oh wow, I nearly just completely messed myself up. But yeah. So basically just gonna do this until we get the invite for the race. Hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. Oh, dang it. Wow. Man, I think because of the way I veered to the inside and basically didn't try and exploit that, I guess it didn't give me the penalty, which I probably should have gotten there. Here we go, coming up behind. That's Zane Smith in the number 8. Hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. I probably should shift down there for that one. And then into this corner, you shift down again. There we go. And that is a warm-up lap at Watkins Glen. Got a decent run into the first corner. Oh. So weird doing this on a wheel without having to worry about the clutch. Kind of shifting it like an IndyCar as well. But there we go. I just got an invite for the party, so I'm going to actually back out of here. Should also get a race invite there. I don't really need the party invite, but Now let's hope that this actually works this time. If this doesn't, I have no idea what to do. Okay. It's worked this far. We're 11 laps into it. So hopefully this works. Because otherwise I have literally no clue what to do about it. Because I've done everything the way I usually do to fix it. Now, maybe me hopping into a practice lobby might screw something up or something, like inside the game. But that, I feel like, shouldn't be the case, and if it is, that's pretty stupid. But, yeah. Like, I don't make the rules on how this thing works, so I just try and follow them. And then as soon as I start to follow them, they change the rules on me. So, not the league, the actual game itself and how it works. There we go. So, we're on lap 11, coming to what looks like yeah, so we're on a manual caution right now, going for a restart, it looks like, with 11 laps into the race. So, finally we're in. I'm going to try and get the guy's mixer up so I can keep track of laps and whatnot. At least I'm going to check his mixer first, see if he's on mixer or if he's on, but here we go, coming down to the green flag. Green flag is going to be in the air, but they go green at the line, so green flag now out, and they're racing from Watkins Glen. We're riding on board with Mr. Ocean as TK Fire, who by far set the pole at a 1:09 on the track, has now gotten away with the lead. Meanwhile, we got battling all throughout the track. We got guys in. Is that supposed to be like some Halloween scheme there with the 20? Ozzy Osbourne, and is he in the what number? That's the 64. The 7 there. Oh, contact with the 20 and the 7 there. Kind of sending them through there. Got the 8 who is out already, and oh no. The 6 has blew the pit road, so he is out, or not out, but he's going to be way behind. Okay, so he must be on his Twitch right now because he isn't on Mixer. Yeah, there we go. So I got the live stream up for lap count, but we just completed what I believe was lap 13. If I've got my lap count right, might have been lap 4, or might have been lap 12. But here we go. 44 still leads the field around. So there we go. 44 leading the 80. 80 is actually he won Richmond, which was, I believe, our most recent track in the, or no, the first track in the Xfinity Series where brakes really played a big factor, and then he missed Martinsville, which was another track where brakes really matter. For the National Series cars. Katsu, no, he's pretty much inconsistent. Like, he's either up at the front or he's way at the back. So, I guess we'll see. Oh, not Katsu, Chevy, way out there in the number 5 car. Goes way wide. So, that's going to send him quite a few spots back. Outlawed Beast. Man, a lot of new guys. I don't know how they drive. Ozzy Osbourne, I don't think I've seen race before. BE is the chef, or is the chief. And that's chief, not chef. Come on, I can read. I promise, I can read. Oh, contact there with the Armco barrier. It looks like that was Maverick. There in the, is that 20? Oh, he's in the 13 now, okay. I know before the break he was on, like before his time off, he was in the 28, but now he's in the 13. The average Joe in the 3 and the 80, but they are all just falling further and further behind TK. Oh, spinner number 20 spins his Toyota Supra around. I don't know if there was assistance there for the spin. I mean, maybe you guys saw something I didn't. From this one, let's see how many laps we got left to go in the stage, because I don't actually know how long the stages are here. Okay, we're on lap 14 of. Okay, so we just started lap 15. 6 laps to go in the stage. Okay, so 16 laps to go in the stage. TK Fire is pulling away, which, I mean, I don't want to feel like I'm bragging on him too much, but he's really fast, so. Man, he is. Wow, he's pulling away. Let's see. Any other. We got Average Joe coming through the. running into the grass there. Oh! The 80 of Ocean makes a mistake and falls now down to third. And now is he gonna try and make the how hard is he willing to push to try and get by this 3? Right now before the end of the stage. Of course, the end of the stage is 5 laps away, so he's got 5 laps to choose whether he wants to try and move by the 3 or if he just wants to ride in this position, which if I were him, I know what I would do, but there's a reason I'm up here in the booth and they're down there racing, so let's just go with that. Looks like, looks like he did make the move I would have made going for that pass. And now the 3 car, once again, going to be trying to battle back, though. If you're the 3 car and you just got by Ocean on a mistake, how much are you pressing for him trying to press him to force him into another mistake? And not like actually push him to make sure that he has no way of avoiding the mistake, but just kind of keeping that pressure there, hoping he makes a mistake to where you can then capitalize and gain a lot of edge off of that one. Now, of course, the corner there, the carousel, is one of the most strange corners, because like the whole thing with that corner being so odd, you get so tight in that corner from a driver's perspective that you push out towards the wall there. Let's see, Maverick goes off the track, or not even off the track, but he goes off into the runoff area, which in most racing series would be considered out of bounds. Isn't here, so But yeah, if you guys enjoying the race, by the way, remember, like button, sharing it with your friends that are interested in racing. Share the stream so that we can spread the series. As well as reminder to follow us on Instagram at misfitz.racing.league, as well as to like us on Facebook. So there we go. And we got Maverick actually making a pass on Average Joe in the 3. Is he going to be able to push it? Average Joe, I thought he was about to grab the grass and spin. But now on the inside, because of the left-right nature of the road course, Maverick got put to the inside, and then he actually lost ground when he was on the inside, despite he was able to break even on the exit of the corner. Wasn't really able to make anything happen through turn 1, which is one of those heavy braking zones and one of the better passing zones on the racetrack. The S's really aren't a passing zone. That's more of a place for, if a car is fast there, to pull away. But even say if the guy behind is faster than in the S's than the car he's in front of, there really just isn't the opportunities, unless it is a drastic difference for the speed difference to really come into play. But there we go. Let's see. Here we go. Coming into the final heavy braking zone of the track, and we actually saw Maverick used this last time to try and break even by going around the outside and gain the time. But he just was not close enough to him that lap to try and make the move. And right now they're all basically just duking it out here for second, third, fourth on back in the stage as we get 2 laps to go here. Let's see, pushes the car wide. Oh man, first off, can I just say that how much I like that 3 cars paint scheme? I mean, I don't know if it's because I know he typically does a lot of Dale Senior throwbacks in this series, so but I don't know if that's a Dale Senior one or not. Yeah, here we go into the braking zone of the bus stop. I think someone needs to remind these guys that they're not racing the dirt cars because they were all just kind of going through the grass there in the bus stop. I guess someone's getting paid to do some lawn mowing work or something. Not really sure what, but what was up with all of them going down to the grass and just kind of racing in the grass as opposed to on the pavement. Because I'm pretty sure you're supposed to keep it on the black stuff. Oh, the 13 gives a shove to the 3. Bump and run, and the 7 goes on by. Oh, the 7 is not going to be happy about that. What happened to... Where is he? Yeah, B is the chief. He is certainly not happy there. Coming to the white flag in the stage. Being forced down onto the pit road because of contact. Oh my, he will not be happy about that one, but the contact there did open up the chance for Average Joe to maintain his track position. But I guarantee the 7's going to argue his case of why he should at least have some points in this stage. I don't know how many of them actually do or don't have the aren't in the points because I don't know how many do we got. We got 12 drivers in the field, so 11. Yeah, he's not going to be earning any points, and he was up battling for third, so I think he is definitely going to have a word to say there, but let's see. Oh, looks like Maverick's being challenged here on the final lap, but it's going to not really come to anything as Maverick will come across in fourth. The stage winner, though, goes to TK Fire. Dominated from the pole position. Caution has now come out, I believe. So great job to the number 44 crew on their dominant stage 1. Of course, stage 2 still yet to be seen what they're going to do with stage 2. Got a long race to decide what's going to happen, but I guess first call is what happens here on the pit stop. Well, I guess the good thing about coming down pit road like that, you actually B is the chef actually did get, or chief, man, I gotta say chief, not chef. Actually did get to stay on the lead lap because he got forced down the pit road coming to the white flag, so he wasn't gonna lose the spot. But man, oh man, did he try to lose that 10th spot. But yeah, there was one car that was 1 lap down. He is now the recipient of the free pass. That was the green machine of Game Mastermind. But there we go. Green flag back out. TK back to the point. Did not lose the... Actually, he did technically lose the lead spot. But... Oh, wait, no, he didn't because he was on the outside. Outside here is the... Oh! Contact! Oh! And everybody kind of makes dodging moves to avoid TK. Oh, off the course again. Is he gonna pile up in the... He avoids the pile up, but man, he is now being caught so quick, and oh wow, the 6 is trying to wreck. Man, the 6 just kind of rammed into the back of him. He's gonna now try and be racing with the 6, the guy that he had a lap down. Just before this caution came out, and now after that, he is now back in the pack quite a bit. So, Yeah, now he's actually behind on track the guy that he just had a lap down at prior to the caution. So does that put yeah, that puts Mr. Ocean to the race lead. Second place is the Flex Seal number 01 of Outlawed Beast, I think. Yep, Outlawed Beast. Second place, and then just kind of a cluster from there. Who is actually currently third? It looks like it's a three-way battle between Maverick, but it looks like it's going to go to Chevy over Average Joe and Maverick for the position. And they're going to still battle it out here. Man, they are just battling it through here. It's like, okay, Average Joe, do you look out your front windshield to try and gain time and pass Chevy, or do you try to watch your mirror and defend against Maverick? Because you're not going to be able to do both, I don't think. Oh, thank you. Thanks for mentioning that. I completely forgot because I muted it to avoid the. There we go. It's fixed. Completely forgot. When I was resetting my game, I muted it to avoid any music because I don't need a copyright issue. There we go. Average Joe, though, really wide. And here we go. Three wide. Oh my, three wide. Oh, the 7 let off really early. And that's going to check up someone there in the back. I don't know who that was that he basically let off right in front of. But now the 44, even with the damage from the chaos on the restart, he is still working his way back through this field pretty effectively. I think he's already up to 4th place right now on track. Yeah, he's up to 4th place on track. And he's already looking, yep, he already went and made the pass on the 5. Man, that 44 is just so fast. Oh, wow, Chevy was able to get back by him. Oh, and then there goes the 44, bumping and banging with the 5 of Chevy. They both managed to avoid the grass on the exit of that corner because they were so far out out of lines at that point already. And the 44 dives it into the final corner, manages to hit the curbing, but not spin it out, which is pretty much perfect for how you want to run this one. But there we go. Mr. Ocean, next to no pressure right now for the position. So many guys just kind of riddled throughout the field, just all over the place in terms of where they're at. I don't know if they are going to be able to make it on fuel from where they're at. I'm sure a lot of them are curious about that about the answer to that same question. Man, the 5s actually kept it really close to the 44. Looked like coming off that final corner that the 44 might be able to try and get away, but no, Chevy's been able to keep it close, and he might actually be going for the pass because he's able to keep it a little tighter off the corner. No, he loses actually quite a bit of ground there. Let's see. Coming through the final set of corners. Let's see. Hard to tell whether Outlawed Beast is catching the 80 or if he's losing time to the guys behind him. Oh, we got Ozzy Osbourne that has either decided to come to pit road already or that has just given up on the race and he's already in the garage. Looks like, though, it's green flag pit stops already. So, green flag pit stops are happening now. Man. But the 80 right now, I think what the 80 does in this, I think if you want to be the aggressor, I think the 80, as soon as the fuel window opens, I think you get that 80 on pit road. But as long as the fuel window isn't open from the start of the race or from the start of the stage, because if you can make it from the start of the stage to the end of the stage, don't pit. But I think you're gonna have to, especially since we've seen guys coming down pit road already. But yeah, right now though, lots of guys all over the track. Lots of dust kicked up. Looks like the 7 came into the pit. Might have been the one to come into the pits there. No, that was the double. That was the 0-1. As they take 12 laps to go into the stage, I think that is outside the fuel window at this point for a lot of these teams. So I guess the question is, when does the window open, and who jumps in there right as the window opens? So the 6 is back out on track. It looks like the 64 has decided to end it and just retire for the night. But yeah, there he goes. He just left the party, basically confirming that he did retire from the race. Which, I mean, let's see. Maverick still running side by side with Katsu for 5th place. Average Joe is in 4th right now, behind, I believe, TK, Ocean, and I don't know who the 3rd driver is up here. Oh, the 3rd driver is Chevy, of course. Completely forgot Chevy was all the way up here. So Ocean, TK, and Chevy are your top 3. And oh, there goes Game Mastermind, who is now retired from the race, I believe. Let's see. The 7 comes in. Yep, there's the 6 motionless on pit road. Another guy retired from the race already. No, we're still in the 2nd stage here, and the race leader is Ocean. And we're coming down towards the Ocean. Still needs to make a pit stop though. Yeah, Ocean needs to make pretty much everybody in the top like 10 or so, or like in the top 5 to 7, I think, still need to make a pit stop. Let's see. We got Mr. Ocean leading. We see Midnight pulling off into the pits. 7 there just leaving the pits, of course. He got kind of shoved into the pits rather unfortunately at the end of the coming to the end of the stage, or not coming to the end of the stage, but coming to one to go in the stage. Was banging with, I think, the 13 and the 3, and ended up losing it. But yeah, stage 1 winner though was TK. Mr. Ocean looks like, as long as he doesn't have any major screw up coming into the pits or whatnot, he should be all good to go. And I think at this point you need to get that 80 in there, because if there is a caution now, he loses all his track position that he is currently holding on to, pretty much. I mean, he would be only ahead of the guys that have yet to pit. Let's see. Did he pit? So, Maverick's back out on track. TK has decided to stay out. Mr. Ocean has stayed out. And Katsu stays out as well, okay. Chevy stayed out. Lots of guys staying out a lot longer than I would have thought they would. I mean, at a road course where there is no fear of you getting lapped, I would have certainly thought there would be more guys kind of rushing to pit when the window opened, or when the window was fairly comfortable. Like, sure, maybe you don't want to pit right on that first slight chance you've got to come in and then risking running out of fuel. But once you feel comfortable in your window, especially if you're not going to go down a lap, and if you pit first and then a caution comes out, you leapfrog all those guys that you were behind and pitted, that you were behind because either you pit or you were just behind them already. I mean, there's such a little chance of you actually going a lap down at a road course. Granted, though, we did see the 6 car actually go a lap down in the first stage, which I didn't actually see what caused that. But yeah, so thank you guys, though, for tuning in. All of us really appreciate it. at the Misfitz Racing League. So thank you guys for tuning in and spending your Monday night with us. So trying to see. We got Maverick, who's already pit. I think he's probably the leader of the guys who have already pit. Yeah, so he is 7th, and the leader, I believe, of the guys who have already pit. Yeah, he is good to go on fuel, so at least I think he is good to go on fuel. Of course, I've got his video to look at, so I think based on what I'm seeing, the estimation at least says that he's going to make it. Of course, estimations can be wrong. They've been wrong before. Let's see. Does TK come into the pits here? Let's see. No, he does not. Okay. Maybe they just know something I don't about this whole road racing thing. Because, again, there's certainly a reason that they're down there and I'm up here in the booth. So, but let's see. Hulk Holden. Oh, contact there for Katsu, who is currently the last place guy on the lead strategy. There we go. Chevy pits from the top 3. Oh, and Outlawed Beast had a penalty. Not sure if that was an unforced error there from him or what, but let's see. Riding on board here with Ocean. We're just kind of waiting to see, does Ocean come into the pits, or are we going to just see him go on by the pits again? Now that someone in the top that was running top 3 has come to pit road, is that going to force the 80 to change his strategy? Yes, well, not necessarily a change of strategy, but the 80 does come to pit road. And now, if not, this should definitely force the 40 to pit road. Or the 44, I mean, to pit road. But it doesn't. Okay. I got no clue. Okay. I guess. I mean, looks like... Oh. The speed those two cars are going, that would hint to me that there's a manual caution out. Which, if so, that is terrible for the 44 car. If that is a manual caution. Looks like the 7 is going to get his lap back. But yeah, so Mr. Ocean pitted at the right time. He came to pit road. He was able to come in, get his service done, not lose many positions because a lot of the guys seem to have already slowed down for, or at least what looked like a caution. Never mind, they're back going again. Okay. I don't know if there was a miscommunication. I thought there was a caution out, and that would definitely stir the pot up quite a bit. But yeah, it looks like everybody's still going full throttle. No, nope, never mind. They're backing back down. Maybe they thought they were caught up when they weren't. So of course they were catching up to the 44, who is. So I believe the guys that were caught out on this strategy, which means they were unfortunately not. They're not going to benefit from this caution. 44 leading the race, 3 running second, 20 running third, and the 70 running fourth. I think the top 4 are the only guys that are going to really suffer from this pit call. The 13, I think, is going to be the big winner. He was kind of fighting towards the back half of the top 10. And now he's going to be getting right up to second place, I believe, when all these pit stops occur here. Which I believe pit road is open this time, so I guess we'll see exactly who lines up where. But I believe that... Oh, it looks like Maverick might actually be throwing away the extra track position he would have gotten for some fresh rubber. So it looks like he is going to give up his shot. Well, he's guaranteed to be up in the top 5. Of course, he was still running about 6th, I think it was, at the time of caution. And that's factoring in that he doesn't pass anybody here. Of course, he doesn't really need any fuel or anything, so he's going to be able to save a lot of time on pit road that way. But yeah. Ocean, though, appears to be... Is he the only one that stayed Okay, I cannot believe that. I would have thought for sure someone, maybe maybe the 01 or someone else would have stayed out there to try and um, gain some track position for the pitting early, and especially to try and gain points in the stage. Because right now, there's so few laps left in the stage. I would imagine that. Okay, the 7, great example. Why did the 7 not stay out and gain that track position as everybody's working on catching up to Ocean right now? So there we go. So Ocean and TK Fire are going to be restarting on the front row just like they did on pretty much, I think most of the restarts that we've had so far today have been these two on the front row. I think TK, though, has been in charge of all the restarts. So this is going to be the first time he's on the front row without it being in charge of the restart. Which, of course, looking at the hood of his car reminds me of what happened the last time he was on the front row and leading a restart. So, of course, doesn't want to get caught up in another wreck. But the 44 does look like he is going to be able to be on the front row at least. So, going to be on the outside, though, going into turn 1, which is a fairly exploitable spot. Yeah, there's a lot of strategy, but especially with the stages, it's more about, like, okay, are you going for points or are you going for the track position after the stage? Because right now, of course, Ocean's going to go right to the back when the stage finishes. But here we go, lining up for the restart. Green flag is going to be in the starter's hand, and he is waving it. Green flag back in the air. They're racing with 4 laps to go in the stage. So if Ocean can hold on old tires for 4 laps at Watkins Glen, he will be the stage winner. Now, of course, this is not necessarily what he wanted, but it was the best option when the caution came out, because if he'd gotten caught out by it, he would be, I thought he'd be much further back. It seems like everybody's kind of just playing the same strategy, which I don't understand that point of it. Like, I mean, there's so many different strategies. Why don't you try one of the other ones? Like, if your strategy didn't work, try a different strategy, especially when you know you've got a caution coming out in about 4 or 5 laps after you go green. Like, I mean, for someone like, say, Katsu or the 7 car, who's now dead last, at least of the guys that are still running, I think that would have been a great chance for them to at least gain some track position. Maybe there's a pile up and the automatic caution comes out and you can save some points or even get a stage win off of it. I mean, I just don't understand why you don't take why no one took advantage of it. I can understand some of them. I can understand some drivers not wanting to give up their track position, but guys like the 7 or the 01 who have not really had much for track position so far today, I'm absolutely stunned that they did not try, that no one tried the staying out strategy except for the 80 who was the leader on the like having already pitted strategy before the caution came out. I mean, he's making it work. I mean, on the old tires, he's staying pretty close to TK compared to that first restart that we saw when he absolutely just got blitzed by the 44, which I think the 44 still has the damage from the initial restart that we saw. Oh, and there we go. The 44 slides the tire off. The 13 running third, though. That's pretty impressive. First time back in a while, and he's up inside the top 3. Let's see. Oh, the 80 looked like he was almost trying to dive in there and see if he can get it. Yeah, if you can send me a picture of that JD McDuffie car, I want to see how close it actually is, because I don't think I've seen the JD McDuffie car, but yeah. If you say it looks close, I'd like to see a picture, just because I don't know what paint. I know the driver. I just don't know the paint scheme you're trying to reference. But yeah, so the 00 or not 00, man, the 80 here, trying to just pull back, see if he can claw out. Of course, getting a second place in the stage is not a bad thing, but it isn't the win that he's looking for, or it isn't the stage win he's looking for, and the playoff points, especially considering he's already got a stage win this season, or he's already got a race win. I mean, this season. I don't know if I'm gonna have to ask one of the admins to see if that's if they've got winning you're in. So of course, if so, then Ocean's already in the playoffs, and the points really don't mean much to him except for that playoff point if he can get it. But for a lot of these guys, especially guys like TK Fire, like Maverick, like the 7, guys who have not raced in every race, they need every point they can get to try and bring it back to a reasonable range. But there we go. The 80 goes on the outside, but not really able to make it work. He's just fighting here for it. Man. 80 goes on the outside. Man, they got single file here. Oh, it looks like something happened to Katsu. It looks like he might have been the cause of the manual caution that was brought out that messed up the strategy here. Oh! Well, that's going to be a caution to end the stage. The 7 is spun. Might have been the end of the stage anyway. Yeah, that was the end of the stage anyway, I believe. But yeah, man, that was a dumping. That looked like a wreck at the end of the stage if I've ever seen one. And I think I have seen a couple of wrecks at the end of a stage. But yeah, I honestly was surprised that no one tried to pull the strategy that Ocean did, and he was the only one to pull it. And to be honest, I think it didn't really work out for him. I mean, yeah, he got second out of it, which is better than he was running at the time. But I just can't imagine that is really worth too much unless they do have, of course, Ocean hasn't been in every race, so I guess if winning you're in isn't a thing, then he needs the points. But if winning you're in is a thing, I can't imagine he was happy with the way that stage finished. Everybody came to pit road there. We got 9 drivers still in the race. Here we go, green flag back in the air, and looks like the 80 was the one that kind of lost a couple spots there, which I guess you can kind of put down to having some inconsistency with the pit crew. Of course, a virtual pit crew there, and ooh, 3 wide in the S's. As I said earlier here, I don't think that's really a great passing opportunity, but the 3 is trying to make me look silly by saying that. But here we go, coming into one of the better passing zones on the racetrack. The breaking point here of the bus stop. I don't know what number corner this is, but we got lots of guys all over the place. The 44 trying to hold on to it, the 3 trying to take it away. Let's see. But is the Power Dale in that 3 car? Because I know that's actually why he picked the 3, because he first several races of the year. The first several races of the year were he had Dale Senior throwbacks, either the yellow and blue Wrangler car or the Intimidator car. So, but now it looks like Ocean trying to puts it wide and dives it in there really deep. But is he gonna get crossed over on the? Oh wow! Looks like the 3 car might have cut him a little bit of slack there. Because he dove it in so deep and probably could have gotten, and the 3 car probably could have gotten by him if he really wanted to. But again, side by side in the S's, you're not gonna get too many times of doing that before you run out of luck and you end up crashing. So here we go. 80 right on the back of the 44 and coming into to the final massive braking zone on the track. Right here. And looks like the 80 kind of lifts off early, goes in deep into it. So he pulled off the braking zone, closed in a little bit more, if you could even get it much more, but after the right-hander there coming back onto the main straightaway, he was not able to really capitalize. Coming into another big braking zone though, continuing to keep it close, and there he goes. He keeps turning down that inside, but he just can't seem to keep the momentum for some reason. It's really odd with these cars trying to figure out. I mean, I haven't driven a huge amount of them, but yeah, I would have figured though that at this point the oh, whoa, a little bit of lag there. But I would have figured at this point that one of them would have been able to pull away, but the 80 just seems like he's able to close, but isn't able to keep enough momentum to really pass out of any of the braking zones. I don't know if it's just the way he's braking the car in. Of course, long green flag run to the end would be awesome, but of course, you got to remember strategy is involved, and how far can everybody go on fuel is certainly going to be a question. And because I mean, these front two, they are not saving anything. I mean, if the 44 is saving fuel and able to run out in front and by this much, I want to know what kind of setup he's got in that car, and maybe slide it under the table to me for the next time I'm racing these kinds of cars here. But yeah. But yeah, that 44, he is starting to pull away now, kind of like I anticipated that he would be able to. Just kind of seems weird that it's been so long. Like, he was so long that he was right there with the 80. Maybe he was saving fuel, kind of just keeping the 80 right on his rear bumper and then pulled away. But just kind of seems like a lot of it is just seems like a lot of it, I don't know what caused them to stay that close together for that long, but right now they kind of are just waiting it out to get to that fuel window. Of course, once you get to that fuel window, then everything opens up for strategy, because of course, coming early in the fuel, do you come early in the fuel window? Do you go late? Are you the last of the late guys to come into the fuel window? So, unfortunately, we don't have Casey in the race tonight. He absolutely dominated the truck race, and I thought he was going to do pretty well in this National Series race as well. And the 44, actually, I think he slipped coming through the bus stop there. But yeah, I think having Casey in here would have been really fun, because I think he would have been right up in the middle of this fight as well. But Ocean and the 44 are putting on a great two-car duel right now. But yeah, just kind of wondering, I don't know what kept Casey from racing in this one, but I mean, he swept last weekend and he won't complete the sweep this weekend. Or no, he didn't sweep last weekend. He was on par 2 before a late race wreck cost him. But yeah, so here we go. And they're just running through here, kind of curving up the hill, down the hill. Seems like through turn 1, the 44 is faster, but through the S's, the 80 is able to close in a little bit. And then once we get into the bus stop, the 80, I think, is the better car through the bus stop as well. But then in the carousel, which I think is one of the more important corners to do well, I think the 44 has been better off the carousel, which is one of the tougher parts to get right. Then into the final braking zone. Here's where I think the 80 really loses a lot of his run. He runs a little wider there, Oh, the 44 Rex! And battle. What the? The 44 wrecked, right? I wasn't the only one that saw that. Was I the only one that saw that? I guess Reckon's racing, but I mean, that's a new term to Reckon's racing. Oh, man, like, I mean, Reckon's racing, but that is a bit ridiculous. He went nose on into the wall, sideways, in front of another car, and he's now pulled away to about a second gap. Oh my, I mean, that is hilarious. Yeah, he's got about a 1.5 lead now. The front three are separated by about 3 seconds, so about a 1.5 between each of the vehicles in the top three. But behind the third place car, Average Joe looking to try and get into that top three. Right on that rear bumper, pretty much. Throughout most, he's kind of closed in. At times, he's on that rear bumper. At times, he's about a 1/2 second back. Of course, across the road course, you'll have points where you'll be faster and other guys will be slower. I feel like if you're really good on the, I feel like if you're good in the S's and down the back straightaway, that is one of the most valuable times to be really good, because that's one of the more places where you can be closer to flat out. But then executing the braking zones is one of those places that you can just gain or lose all your time, especially with the penalty if you mess up the chicane known as the bus stop. So, I mean, yeah, the 80 though has completely lost touch with the leader. I don't know if he incurred any damage from that Reckon's racing thing, but he has completely lost the draft. He is now 3 seconds back of the leader, and really quickly falling into the clutches of the number 13 car there. There we go. He's closing in, but let's see how many laps we got left to go. 31. So I'd assume that pit window is going to open around 14, 15 to go. So maybe if you want to make it a 2-stop race from here, I think you come now, put 4 tires on it, try and make it to 15 to go, then you pit, put 4 more tires on it. Now, I don't know what the fuel window is necessarily. I haven't been paying attention on like the fresh off the restarts when people take fuel and whatnot to know how many laps a full tank of fuel is. But I would imagine it is... Oh! The 5 car wrecked. And is back going just fine. Okay. But yeah, so... fuel strategy is going to definitely come into play here. Late in this race, I'm sure. I haven't been paying a huge amount of attention to what any of the fuel tanks and everything are. But yeah, I haven't paid a huge amount of attention there, but I would assume that the fuel tanks are probably... Oh! The 7... Where... Oh, that's in turn 1, okay. Okay, so are they... Yep, they are under caution, so... Yep, because the front 4 are like that, so... We are under caution for one reason or another. I'm assuming for something to do with that 7 car. Oh, 7 left the race, so he is out of the race. And we're going to have a restart here, which I think right now you come get your 4 tires and fuel, try and get ahead on fuel game. See if you can maybe get ahead on the game with everybody else. So, I mean, if you can end up getting ahead on the fuel game, or at least staying on par with the fuel, because we have a caution here with about 30 to go. If you come down pit road now, you're gonna have to make a 30 lap. You're gonna have to make about a 29, 28 lap run to the finish, and of course, that's barring no yellows. Can you save X amount of fuel? I don't know what the fuel window is. If it's 15, I think you absolutely can't make it, but I think still pitting now gets you your fresh tires, gets you up on the fuel strategy so you can go longer into that fuel window. Granted, pitting sooner, as long as you can make it to your windows for your pit opportunities, I think you try and keep that track position. I think it all comes down to like what the window is, because of course I don't know what all these drivers have for a projected window, but it looks like they are all coming in. Oh, that looks like they are all coming in. A little bit of contact there from the 13. Oh no, not everybody. Someone stayed out. That looks like that was the 0-1 of Outlawed Beast. So, looks like he is going to stay out. I don't know if he was already a lap down and needing to get it. And yeah, wow, that was actually pretty accurate. So it is 15 lap fuel tank. So I think right now you pit, you get your 15 laps, and then you just need to make it to 15 to go. It should be fairly doable. You've got plenty of laps of caution to do so. Here we go. The guys that are on pit road should be getting off right about now. And it looks like the leader off the pit lane was the 44 of TK Fire. So yeah, so Outlawed Beast was a lap down there. I don't know if he was electing to take the wave round or if he needed to take the free pass and get that. Guess we'll see if he comes into the pits this time. If he was taking a wave round or if he was taking free pass, because free pass means that he gets to pit. Wave round, and yep, looks like he was a free pass because he got to go get his lap back, and now he's going to be coming into the pits and trying to frantically catch up to the field. So Maverick's going to be starting. Is he starting second? No, wait, no. TK Fire's dropped back significantly, so trying to figure out where everybody's supposed to start here. Of course, I'm sure a lot of guys are instantly, I'd be in massive fuel save mode. Not necessarily to try and make it to a window, but if you can take less fuel on your stop, because you save fuel under this caution here, if you're able to take maybe a half a can less fuel, that's about 3 seconds worth of time that you, 3.5 seconds worth of time that you save yourself in the pits under the next caution. Or not under the next caution, but under the next pit stop. If you get a caution, I mean, that can change the whole complexion of that. But yeah, so we're gonna have a restart with about 29 to go here. So we got like 29, 28 to go this time by. And the fuel window is about 15 laps from what all of the teams, from what the teams are showing. Now, of course, that could be different depending on short shifting and whatnot. Traditional road course strategies to save some fuel, but I think it's pretty easily a one-stop race for most of these teams. I think once the green flag comes out, you run aggressively to about 15, 14 to go. Green flag back in the air, and let's see, it is a 28 lap run to the end. So, but yeah, I think right now you just run as aggressive as you can to try and get to 15 to go, 14 to go ish. And then that's when you come into the pits, get if you run the whole thing out, you can get to about, I believe, 13 to go. So if you can get to 14 to go, 15 to go, gamble coming to the pit road a little earlier, trying to get those fresh tires a little earlier. If you go for tires, if you go for fuel only, you're basically banking on you're basically trying to predict whether a caution is going to come out or not. If you think a caution is going to come out, I think you pit earlier. If you don't think a caution is going to come out, I don't think pitting early is really that big of an advantage. Especially if, oh wow, contact from the 44 and the 80. What just happened there? man, and I just had a big voice crack there, but yeah. The 44 and the 80 don't seem to like each other at all right now. They're beating and banging down every single straightaway pretty much. There we go. The 44 able to clear the 80 going into turn 1. But does the 80 just go and boot the 44 for that contact? No, but Katsu! I've been saying it. I think Katsu's really a threat to get a race win here at one of these tracks. And not necessarily, I didn't know about road course, but I keep thinking Katsu, he's a pretty solid driver for for when he's running up front. He can usually stay up front if he gets there. And right now he's up into second, so I think Katsu's got a pretty good shot at winning this thing. Of course, a lot of it comes down to strategy from here, which, I mean, I don't hate talking strategy, especially at this point in the race where it is just a straight up 30 lap run, or a 28 lap run. Of course, it's also going to come down to how much these guys are able to save under caution, because I know some people that use manual transmission can't save fuel under caution. Now, for me, someone who does manual shifting, under the caution, you pop it in fourth and you wait it out, and there goes Katsu really wide there on the exit of 1. Loses a little bit of time to the 44 and goes off track, and the S's. No, that's not how you close in there. But yeah, Katsu though, coming onto the back straightaway, he's gonna have to block the run coming from the 80 of Ocean. Ocean's gonna just dive in by, probably just crashing better part of Valor there, and oh wow, the 5 just tried to dive it in there real deep. I didn't think him and the 70 were both gonna come out of that corner. So it looked like he was just gonna come in, go to the inside of the 70, and either 70 was gonna get shoved way wide and pushed wide, or the 5 was gonna clobber the inside wall. There we go. 70 still trying to find his way around. I mean, Katsu is definitely performing very well in that Toyota Supra. I think he's the highest running Supra. The front 2 are both Chevrolets, so I mean, I know there's no actual manufacturer backing, I don't believe, from any of these big companies, but yeah. We got the 44 of TK though. He's been out front for most of the race tonight, and oh wow, he is off track. And that's gonna allow the 80 to try and shove it up the inside. Probably rough up the 44 a bit. And now, I think, to be honest, this might be brewing pretty well for the 70, because now you get the 80, who has been, I think, slightly slower, especially into these next 2 corners. Right in front of the 44, who has been lightning quick through these couple of corners. And you can have him basically slow him up for you. Of course, though, Katsu needs to, if that strategy is to work, he's going to need to keep hold of 3rd, which right now it looks like he is going to be under attack from Chevy. But he's able to get back in front of Chevy. Wow. I mean, they are just so close here, tooth and nail, and we can't forget about the strategy, but for right now, I think we can forget about it until about lap 15, or not lap 15, but 15 to go, I think is when we really have to start worrying about strategy once again. Because, as mentioned already, you can go about 15 laps on fuel. Should be pretty easy to get the to get there. So for the next like 10 laps or so, I think we can pretty much ignore strategy and just kind of enjoy some awesome road course racing, which these guys are definitely producing right now. This is some of the best road course racing I've seen in a long time. I mean, last night I didn't think it could get much better, and they've made it better. This road race, didn't think we were gonna. I thought it was gonna be tough to even get it to be half as good as last night's race, and this is definitely at least half of what last night's race was. I'd even say it's probably better at this point. But here we go. We got the 70 still running third. Maybe trying to back off and save a little bit of fuel, try and make it a little further into that window. Or not into the window, I mean. But trying to save a little fuel so you can go a little deeper. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what the benefit to saving fuel on the road course right now is. I mean, they're all able to make it to the 15 to go mark. I mean, unless you're basically just trying to separate yourself so that you don't get collected in any kind of contact from these front two kind of getting into each other, which, I mean, fair play to you. I mean, I don't think these guys are completely completely indestructible, but, I mean, I think backing off that much could definitely, I mean, yeah, if these two both wipe out in one of these corners, I think bus stop or something probably most likely spot for that to happen. Katsu would be in a great place to capitalize, but there we go. 44 gonna gain on by, but I think this is actually where Ocean's usually better, is through the S's and onto that back straightaway to get a good run into the bus stop. Now the question is how is his run into the bus stop gonna be? Because there we go. Gets a good run in, good run through the bus stop. But now this gets into the part of the course that I think the 44 is actually better than the 80 at. Oh, man, they actually stayed pretty even through the carousel. One of the spots I thought the 44 was better. And now coming into the hard braking zone, what does the 80 do to try and take the lead back? Gets that inside, kind of pushes the 44 wide. 44, though, re-enters the track, takes the inside. Pushing on the rear bumper. I mean, this is some great racing. And oh! Uh-oh. That's a yellow flag. We got 22 laps to go. What would I do if I was these guys? If I have damage, I think for sure you pit and get the damage fixed right now. But you're going to go back racing with like 17, 18 to go. I don't think you can make that on fuel. I mean, this is where that fuel saving comes into play. Caution out with 22 to go. Might be 21 now that they've crossed the line. But let's see how many laps it's going to be when they restart here. So, looks like everybody kind of... Looks like at least the majority of the field pitted. Not sure about the front two, but green flag back in the air, and we'll see real quick what everybody did. 18 laps to go. Yeah, I think that's impossible to make on fuel from where they were. So I guess maybe if you could have pulled the staying out strategy to try and gain some track position that you didn't have. But then again, in a 9-car field, how much track position can you gain? But yeah, it looks like though, I mean, Katsu, I think, has done the best job so far tonight at getting himself back up into position. Because at one point in this race, he was running like second to last or something. And now he's up in the top 5, battling for, I think, he's battling to try and keep third right now. But yeah, he has played the strategy really well. Chevy been fast all night and is now trying to pass there. But Hulk Holden as well. He's another one of those Toyotas that's done really well to get back up into position to where he's... Katsu, contact, and he's in the fence. I think right now, if you can slip to pit road, if Katsu, getting your pit stop out of the way now, you might be able to save a bit of fuel and use that loss of momentum to, I'm coming down pit road anyway. That would put you at 17 to go in the race, and you're basically still banking on a caution. I mean, but yeah, so this is going to be the tight point. I mean, who's going to save the fuel to try and get it? But yeah, Katsu, though, kind of back into 5th now. versus the front two that he's been racing with a lot of tonight with the 80 and the 44. Well, not even a lot of tonight, but a lot of the late stages of this race. As the 44 and 80 are, looks like the 44 is gonna try and slip away. Now, I guess question is how hard do you run, and how hard does the guy behind you make you run? Because I think right now, if I'm like a set of teammates somewhere in here, I don't know who all is and isn't a teammate in this one, but I think if you have a teammate behind you, I think the two of you maybe kind of just back off to the third guy behind you to try and save a little bit of fuel. See if you can maybe try and stretch it. Oh wow, Katsu in the wall, and here comes Maverick trying to take third away, I think, fourth away from Hulk Holden. But yeah, I think though right now you gotta at some point start thinking about that fuel window. I mean, I know that fuel window is not necessarily the most interesting thing, but you really gotta start thinking about it at some point here to think, okay, do I start saving here, or am I just running this thing dry and pitting with like 3 or 4 to go in the race? Lots of guys, though, DNF'd and already in the garage in a race that I feel like these races, especially when they go green flag for long periods of time. Oh, well, it's not going to stay green flag. Ow. Dang it. Well, I accidentally hit the back out button. Hopefully we get a caution. Hey, Maverick, while you're in the pits, can you send me another invite? I just lost the connection to the game. There we go.
Wait, caution? I can hear like 3 people talk.
Caution, caution.
Oh, okay.
I went down pit road right as we said it, so I'm just gonna stay in the back. Yes.
Okay, so they are under a caution here. Late in the race. Maverick was on pit road. He will be staying at the back from what he just said there. As we're loading back in here. Hopefully we don't have any kind of connection issues here trying to reconnect to the race. I really hope we get to see the end of this thing, because this has been some of the best road course racing I've seen in a long time. And I'm hoping to, because I'm going to actually get to broadcast a little bit more road racing coming up pretty soon. So hopefully it's going to be pretty good. Let's see. Come on. Load in, load in, load in, load in. Load in. Load in. Come on. I get antsy just waiting, watching it. There we go. We're in. Because I just never know if it's going to require me. But here we go. We got split decision here. And this is actually a big thing. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Not a split decision. Looks like everybody's coming in. How many laps we still got to go? I'm going to try and tell you guys how many laps we got left to go here, as right now we're watching for the race off pit road. We are completing lap 68. That is 14 laps to go. Everybody should be able to make it from here on fuel. And of course, the 13 just pitted as the caution was called, so I believe, from what he said, it sounds like he will be going to the back of the field. So the 44 and 80 will be battling it out. Shouldn't be any concerns now on fuel. Strategy should be all done and dusted. I think if you're the pit crew, I think you put everything away except for maybe an extra, leaving one gas can out just in case you absolutely need it. But for right now, I'd say you get, right now you get the, you just get your foot and you get your feet on those two pedals. Your gas pedal and your clutch, and get ready to go, as well as you're probably going to need a brake pedal in there too, so I guess all 3 pedals. But yeah, so it's going to be I think you just go, though, as blindingly quick as you can, and the 13 is just going to blow the bus stop like that. I guess that might be his way of getting to the back of the field, but that might also cause him to not be up with the rest of them when the, oh, is he going to be able to get back up to them without losing too much fuel? Because, of course, still a concern, but with caution coming out and them all coming down pit road with about 14 to go, that does eliminate most of the concern, but they are still burning fuel here. If any of them are burning up too much fuel right now, that could really kill them in terms of strategy. They could run out of fuel here. Everybody is caught up, though, so no one's going to be kind of left out to dry on the restart in terms of not being caught up to pace. And it looks like they are going to be going in to the final corner. Here we go. Coming down the main straightaway, coming to the green flag. And here we go. Green flag is in the air, and they're racing from Watkins Glen once more. Probably potentially the final restart. We don't really know what the final restart is going to be until it is the final restart. But here we go. Everybody going on into that corner, and it looks like Chevy actually up to second. Could we see Chevy claim a win here? Of course, the 44 car looking like he's been the dominator. He's won both stages, and he's out leading right now. But that can all change in a matter of moments. Going from leading to being second or third here. Just one bad corner could really mess that up. But yeah, right now though, Chevy closing in. The 44 trying to protect. Of course, what's been a flawless night so far. Well, mostly flawless night for the 44. I mean, we still have that one moment of wrecking versus racing, but yeah. Right now though, big difference in questions of some of these guys. I'm sure are just thinking, okay, let's race it out, try and be the race leader when we get back to the checkered flag in like 13 laps or something. And some of these guys, I think, are still concerned about, okay, what is our position on fuel? Because, of course, even though they all pitted with 14 to go, they potentially burned fuel under that caution that could have been very crucial. They should all be about a half lap to the good. But question is, of course, are they a half lap to the good, or are they worse off? And the 13 actually ran really wide there off the carousel. Not sure if that was intentional or not. Let's just assume it probably was, because knowing him, he probably has some kind of weird strategy like that. But yeah. So here we go, coming down to the checkered flag. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I can definitely see how. Okay, I just saw the picture there. Definitely see how that was. Yeah, how you were referring to that car. That definitely looks like it might have been based off of it. Hard to tell. I might ask him afterwards, but yeah. Right now the 44 just kind of trying to cap off a flawless night so far. Won both stages, led a lot of laps, and it looks like he's gonna be looks like he could go on to win this race here, coming down the stretch. Of course, long run, and we're coming to 10 to go this time by, so still plenty of time for something to happen. Still time for potentially a yellow, but one thing that looks like it won't be an issue will be fuel. They all still should be, I think, about a lap, maybe a lap and a half maybe to the good. Anywhere from a half lap to good to a lap and a half to the good. It just kind of comes down to how much they've saved under the caution and how aggressive they were on getting through the gears on the restart. Because, of course, the more aggressive guys... I'm actually starting to wonder if guys like Average Joe have been maybe saving something, trying to just kind of... I mean, I guess if you know that you have the... If you know you don't have the pace, really, to run with the guys that have been up front most of the day, maybe trying to save fuel and win a fuel mileage... Get a fuel mileage win might not necessarily be a bad strategy, but Katsu, he's working his way back up to the front. What? I mean, come on, Katsu. Come on, Katsu, let's go. I want to see Katsu get this one. He's run up here for a lot of late stages of the race. Early on, he was towards the back, was able to get his way back up to the front using strategy. Kind of lost a little bit of that on one of the late restart, or one of the late cautions and late restarts, but here we go. So Katsu, he has been one of the... He's looking like he might be able to try and reel these guys in, especially if he can get the... Especially if either of these guys even just stumble coming through the final two corners. Because, of course, you can't just put it in neutral and coast the final two corners to get a victory, unlike you can do at, say, a Daytona or a Richmond, even. Like, coming out of the final corner, you can just kind of coast it. The straightaway here, the main straightaway here is just too absurdly long to really just kind of lift and coast and hope that you can get there by just pop it in neutral and coast. But right now, I think the 44 probably has this one on lock if he can just avoid making any mistakes himself. We're glad you guys are sticking around with us, though. Here, come to the end of this one. I know it's getting late, especially for a weeknight, but here we go. Coming down the back straightaway into the bus stop, bicycling through the bus stop for the number 80 there. And it looks like he actually got a pretty good run there. Now, of course, 44 actually got a really good run through there as well, so wasn't really able to kind of gain the time that he needed to, and this is kind of the area of the racetrack I think that I consider that the 44 one of the better drivers at is those final two. So if he has fuel and he gets to the final two corners, I think he's probably got the race win. But of course, that stumble, if it stumbles, I think that's where, I mean, it doesn't even have to fully run out. If it just stumbles for a brief moment, you could end up losing this one. And that's where I think anytime, like if you just lift earlier, use a little less brake into the bus stop. First off, I think you could actually run a little quicker if you just kind of coast in. But I mean, if you lift a little earlier, use a little less brake through the bus stop, you can save a ton of fuel. I feel like, just from not like having to shift down to third gear on accelerating off that corner. Now this is one of those corners that you just can't help it. You've got to shift down to avoid losing all your track position on. So there we go. 44 still leads the race. We're coming right down to the wire here. Here, let's see. How many laps we got left to go? The leaders are really pulling like these front two and these front three, and even at this point, the front two are starting to pull away from third even. Katsu's pretty much going to have to rely on both these guys running out of fuel with like 2 corners to go. But yeah, right now a lot of it, a lot of laps in theory still to go. A lot of on track time still with how much green flag running we've had. But let's see, they run wide. 44 able to get a pretty good run down the back, or down the NASCAR chute. And there we go. The 80 has just run wide. Is that going to help him close in? Oh, the 80 bobbles the momentum. Let's see. Because bobbling momentum like that could very much decide your future. Not your future, but your fate in this race. I mean, bobbling just like that right there as we rode on board with the 80 can really decide your future. Or not your future, again, I mean, your future in this race. The 80 kind of bobbled out of turn 1, and he ended up losing a ton of time there to the 44. Because if you can't get that power down, which, I mean, that's going to be a big issue if you can't get the power down. There we go. He gets the power down pretty well there. But you're going to need to close in a little quicker than that if you want to try and... if you want to be able to say that you won this race at the end. I mean, unless, again, there's always the question of, is X going to be good on fuel? I think at this point they probably all are. As they get down here, we've got, I think, about 4 or 5 laps to go. And I would assume that they should all be very much to the good. Should all be pretty much to the good on fuel. Yeah, 4 laps to go in the race. This is going to be a close one on fuel, but I think, given where the caution came out, I think TK Fire got in just the right spot for it. I mean, he had the fast enough car all night to deal with off strategies, and also he got a little lucky there with in the middle of the race. We had towards the end of stage 2, we had a caution come out where no one really took advantage of the strategy. So I feel like there are a couple opportunities that were wasted for guys to try and get some good strategy moves off. But of course, I mean, coming down to the finish in any race, there's always going to be guys that make the best of it, and there are guys that are going to probably regret certain choices they made within the race. But I do not understand, though. Towards the end of the second stage, there were a bunch of guys that had already pitted, and would have been good to the end of the stage, and there were some guys that were going to have to pit under the caution. And the fact that none of those guys that were good on fuel to the end of the stage were going to be good on making it through. Or, not good on making it through. Good on, none of them stayed out to try and gain some track position that was much needed, of course, at the time. And eventually, I mean, the race played out very samey so far. I mean, not trying to say, like, boring samey, but... I mean, the guy that was out front when the caution came out played the strategy right, or kind of played his strategy. Didn't really have the options that the others did. Was able to hold the lead because no one really tried an ambitious strategy. And now he's looking like he's going to go on to take the victory in the Zippo 200. The 44 car looks like he's one of the strongest. He's been one of the strongest guys tonight. 80's definitely been right there, though, and kind of reflects in how they're running right now. 2 laps to go. The white flag will be waving next time, and it looks like, though, this will be a parade lap, or the white flag might be just a parade lap for the for TK Fire to get his first win of the series in the national series. So let's see. As he comes down the NASCAR chute, which I think that's the technical term. I mean, the NASCAR chute. I think that's the technical term for it. It's bypassing the boot, which, cough, cough, try the boot out. At least test it on it. But let's see. Coming down the main straightaway, 1 lap to go. And unless the 44 messes up one of these last one of these corners, I think he should be cruising on to a pretty easy victory. But again, anything can happen. It is the white flag is out. A caution here would end the race. Here we go. White flag, 1 to go. How much have they saved on fuel? Are we going to see someone run out of fuel and cough up the race win here as we come down through the bus stop for the final time tonight? Here we go. Running a little wide through the carousel, but as long as you don't completely mess it up, you're going to be able to actually make a lot of time there. The 80's pretty much got to push right now, because if he doesn't run out here, he isn't going to. No, he's going to be able to make it through here, but question is he shifting? I don't hear the shift, so it sounds like he's all good on fuel. And the 44 will take the race win at Watkins Glen. 44, TK Fire wins at the Glen in the Zippo 200. Man. Whew. Wow, that was a pretty dominant win there for TK Fire. Congratulations to him. And as we've got a last lap battle between Chevy and Average Joe. Here we go. Oh, pushing on the back bumper. Average Joe not going to be able to get there. Average Joe hits the wall. And the crash at the line. What? What position was that for? Average Joe got 5th over Chevy. So that wreck there was for a top 5 finish. What? I thought the race drama was over. But yeah, so it looks like Hulk Holden still working on his way to the checkered flag, and he will be claiming 7th, and I think the last running position in this race. Which, there we go. A chaotic race. First place. First to TK Fire. Second Ocean. Third Katsu. 4th Maverick. 5th Average Joe in that chaotic coming to the line with Chevy. I'm sure Chevy is going to be contesting that point. But then we've got Hulk Holden rounding out your finishing drivers in 7th. Outlawed Beast. B is the Chief. And Gaming Mastermind round out your top 10. So, thank you guys for tuning in to this broadcast of the Misfitz Racing League Zippo 200 at the Glen. And we'll see you guys all next time. Bye!